As you see in the league today, there is an influx of international talent, especially from Europe, like Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Bojan Bogdanovic, Dario Saric, even legends like Manu Ginobili, Peja Stojakovic, and Dirk Nowitzki. But like with many things in reality, there's always a beginning, an origin, something that started the journey to help pave the way for something greater. And in this instance, it paved the way for European greats. In the basketball world, when you talk about the greatest European players ever, this legendary icon should be one of the first names to come to your mind. Before Dirk, for a very long time, this legend held the mantle as arguably the European GOAT. If you want to know the Euro equivalent of Michael Jordan in the means of impact, ability, aura, and revolutionizing the game, he checks all the boxes. In the same breath as Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and Steph Curry, he's one of the greatest shooters to ever live. Forget that. Just listen to what Reggie said.
Braggadocious here, but I consider myself the best shooter ever. But there's one guy that tops me. And he got underneath my skin. And the reason why he got underneath my skin is because a lot of times I couldn't understand what he was saying. And it was the late, great Dražen Petrović.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, when he came off screens and he started to talk to you, you couldn't understand him. He smelled like he never took a shower.
Maybe it was something complimentary.
No, and he said something bad. No. You talk about wanting to strangle someone?
Yeah.
Dražen Petrović was my nemesis. I could not stand this guy, but to this day, I respect him because I think he is the best shooter I've ever seen in my life.
Better than Ray Allen.
The best shooter I've ever seen in my life.
But he was more than just that, as he had a fluid, fundamentally sound offensive repertoire that made him one of the most efficient scorers of his era and arguably all time. The sacrificial lamb that had to take all the extreme blows and set the blueprint, the standard, for all the other European players to flourish today, which they owe him a great deal of respect to him for. A legendary career that was unfortunately cut short due to tragedy. I introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, the late, great Dražen Petrović, the dazzling, skilled, sharpshooter, offensive sensation of the 80s and early 90s, the league's first ever European superstar. As most players born and raised in Europe, Dražen started playing professionally at the ripe age of 15 for local basketball club Sabanka. With his prodigy talent and same work ethic, he will quickly become the star of the team and began a journey to carve out one of, if not the, greatest and most accomplished European careers ever. At 6'5", he was more than just his silky smooth, pure, quick shooting stroke. He was a dominant three-level scorer, blessed with an elite ball handling package and a gift of finding the open man in unbelievable ways, as he could create a shot for himself and others. He was creative and imaginative with an extreme intelligence for the game. But he also had qualities that most players don't have and that you can't teach. He was a transcendent talent that had an extreme dedication to the sport, was mentally tough and strong-willed, and more importantly, he was a big-time gamer that always came up clutch, as when the lights shone the brightest, his game only got better. The beautiful aesthetic of his game got him dubbed the Mozart of hoops. In his third and fourth season with the local club, he would lead them to the FIBA Korjak Cup, where in his second appearance, he had hit 2 big clutch free throws to win the championship. But due to controversial refereeing, FIBA stripped him of the title and gave it to the opposition after the team refused to do a rematch. In 1984, he joined Sabona Zagreb, where he would show the world his dynamic offensive artistry and machine-like scoring dominance. In 4 seasons with the club, Dražen would put up dominant numbers while leading them to consistent team success. He would lead the team to multiple European-based championships like the Yugoslav Cups and League Championship, Saporta Cup Championships, and the EuroLeague Championships, while being the main leading scorer in all of those contests. Dražen has so many epic scoring performances that it is hard to list them all, but the most iconic one that stands out as the best of the best is when he recorded a Yugoslavian League single-game scoring record of 112 points against KK Olimpija. scoring 67 in the first half alone. In 1988, seeking bigger challenges after accomplishing basically everything while representing Croatia, Petrović signed with Real Madrid, where in his lone season he led the Spain's basketball league, Liga ACB, in scoring with 28 a game, and led the team to win the Spanish King Cup over Barcelona, and took them to the league's finals. In the losing effort, he recorded a final single-game record of 42 points with 8 threes made. By the end of the 80s decade, at the age of 26, Dražen has stacked up a decorated resume of all-time level accomplishments to be viewed as the European GOAT, and there was nothing left to prove on the continent. A new personal challenge arises as he set his sights on the best professional basketball league in the world, the National Basketball Association. Looking to prove his value as a talent and to prove to himself that he could be just as impactful as he was in Yugoslavia and in Madrid on the basketball stage in the world, he joined the Portland Trail Blazers, who drafted him 3 years prior in '86. But it will prove to be more difficult of an obstacle to overcome, as due to their guard-heavy rotation and the organization's lack of faith and belief in his talent, Petrović received limited playing opportunity as they try to limit his playstyle to being just a catch-and-shoot player. Knowing that he can't accomplish the goal he has set forth being in a Blazer uniform, he will request a trade and it will be granted, as in the middle of the 91 season he will be traded to the New Jersey Nets, a place where he will stake his claim and prove he belonged. As for the remainder of the season, he will quickly average 13 a game. In the 92 season, a full season with the team as a rising star, he would play all 82 games, averaging 21 a game, shooting 51% from the field, 44% from beyond the arc, as he would help the team make a 14-win improvement from last season to make the postseason as a 6th seed, facing the Cavaliers. In Game 1 of the series, he would score his playoff career high 40 points and average 24 in the series, but would lose in 4. In the 93 season, he did something so masterful that shooting purists should marvel and be in awe of what he has accomplished. In the league where the bigs dominated the game in field goal percentage and most of the game is dominated by mid-range and paint, Dražen will average 22 points off of 52, 49, and 87 shooting splits, or either in the top 10 or top 20 in the leaderboards. He would send New Jersey back to the playoffs for a consecutive season, and despite being snubbed from the All-Star team, he rightfully earned All-NBA third team. When it came to representing his country nationally, Dražen always showed up big, playing with some other great European legendary talent like Toni Kukoc and Dino Radja and Vlade Divac. He would help Yugoslavia win gold medals in the FIBA World Championship, FIBA Eurobasket, and the Universidad, earning MVPs in the process. In the Olympics, representing Croatia, he will help them earn silver, as in one of these competitions, he faced off against the iconic and legendary Dream Team in the gold medal game, which he was the leading scorer in the game with 24. Dražen did it. With his determination, he proved to himself and the world that he could do what many at that time thought couldn't be done by anyone overseas. He transferred his international dominance to the NBA and found success, becoming not just one of the best shooters in the world, but one of the best players in the world, setting the foundation, the blueprint for a successful international transition into the National Basketball Association, showing other Europeans what it takes to get the job accomplished the right way. And just as they thought they were witnessing only the beginning of his true greatness, what they unfortunately did not see coming was a heart-torn moment that will forever devastate the basketball world. In June of '93, Dražen Petrović would be a fatal victim to a brutal car accident at the age of 28. The legendary icon who set the standard for excellence and stardom in European basketball. He's not just one of the greatest European players ever, but he's one of the best and greatest basketball talents ever in general. Ahead of his time, he'll be a perfect, star-studded fit for the modern NBA today. It makes you wonder, if this devastating thing never occurred, what more could he have shown the world of his great talent? Would he have made multiple All-Stars, gained more multiple All-NBA honors, be the first and potentially only European legend with championship titles from all major professional leagues. Rest in legendary peace and power, Mr. Petrović. Thank you for your contribution to the sport, and we will forever honor your greatness.